As we say hello and welcome everybody into the virtual Daytona International Speedway at World Center of Racing here for Season 6 of the SAAC Cup Series here for the Daytona 250 and the Daytona 250 Duels here. Once again from the World Center Racing here from Daytona Beach, Florida. Hello, my name is Christian Delgado, the lead producer and commentator for tonight's race here. To start off your first paying race here for the SAAC Cup Series. Obviously, last week we went to the Clash, where we saw, the truck series, the SAAC Smoky Hill Truck Series and the Cup Series can do a combined race here. So it's gonna be how we start off 6 here from the World Center of Racing. But qualifying underway here, ready to go trackside here to take a look and see at some of your fastest drivers here in qualifying. Obviously, did not get practice in. We did get the last minute call up tonight here. Come up here and put on a good show for you guys at home. But we'll see if we can go down trackside to take a look at some of your fastest drivers here as we get into qualifying. We'll go here. Amir Bascombe out on track here. And these drivers here for the 250, we do have duels here to start off to the race here. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. But right now, Amir Bascombe on his outlap here. We're right on board here with the number 21 machine. The number 21, he's going to keep it in 5th gear here. He's going to keep it in 4th gear, my apologies here. You see him round through 3 and 4. One lap here for everybody else right now. Looks like some drivers spending their first lap time. Stop the board, AJ Hyder, 50.141. The driver of the 44 machine. Wyatt Robertson, the 42, up the P2, 50.149. Across the stripe here, Amir, 50.182. Good enough for P10 for that number 21 machine. Take a look at some drivers continuing to get 3 laps underway here. Malachi Drake in the 90. He bounced through 1 and 2 for the first time. Top 15, sitting a lap here. Do apologize. We obviously got the last second call up here to call tonight's season 6 debut here from the World Center of Racing. So we won't have everybody's custom numbers here on our live timing and scoring. We tried our best to get everything put together with this last second call up. We'd love to, continue to stick around here for all of season 6, but obviously right now just working some time-to-time work. You see Malachi Drake up to P5 here, 50.185, 158. My apologies there for that number 90 machine, up to P number 5 there in the charts there. He's Shumi and this number 68 machine. Shumi Sportsbook. Toyota Camry, we saw him get a podium in the Clash. New number on this number 68, so we'll have to change that throughout the season here. But see him coming in at turn 3 and 4 for his only time lap. Justin Raw, top of the board. 150.128 for that number 76 machine. Really good lap for Justin there. You saw Zach Carter was stopped. Dewey, E25. James Bomar, someone to look at here. In contention to win his first championship last season in season 5. Came so short to James Thurston. You see Bomar here in the EPI machine out of turns 1 and 2. Downing turns 3 and 4. He'll have enough time in qualifying to get this lap done. Looks like only a couple drivers who haven't set a lap time. Connor Shafari, Donovan David in a 94. Like they will not set a lap time down. Like we have 31 drivers who have decided to show up here to the World Center of Racing, and Bomar across the line. 50.162. That's good enough for P17 for that 20 EPI machine. James Thurston up to P10 in that new 82 machine. Just like that. Qualifying underway. Justin Rott AJ Hyder, top of the board there. 76 and a 44. Now we get into the duels for tonight's race. So it looks like we have 17 drivers here to start duel 1. And what I was told in the announcements here was that the top 30 from last season are immediately locked in as long as they show up at the beginning of the duels here. So obviously we're kind of a part-time broadcaster here, so I'm not sure who actually locked in and who isn't here, but go down trackside. Looks like we do have 17 drivers here for this first duel. And we'll go ahead and get you starting line up here. We'll kind of do it by ear this time. Our timing and scoring does not really like these duels types of events here, so I know it's probably not going to show up properly. So Jason Rajcock and the number 71 will be your row 1, and you see back there in row 2 the first two cars who have gotten into their machines. Wyatt Robertson at 42 machine alongside Chris Lilly. Rounding out your fast 4. Christopher Robinson in the 12 alongside Brad Zesweski. Back there in the 28, we'll round out row 3. You'll be back there in row 4. Keelan Belsha alongside Duncan Fa and that number 61 machine. And rounding out the top 10, James Bomar and Amir Bascombe. Your top 10 here in duel number 1. Cody Ramirez alongside the Clan George will be back there in 11th and 12th. Nicholas Budlimic in the 60 machine will be P13 alongside Alexander Schumacher in that number 68 machine. And you look further back here, Brian Lorenzo, Connor Chafari, and Donovan David. Your 17 car field here for duel number 1. So it's going to be a 15-lap duel here for this first duel for the 17 drivers here to get their starting position here in the 250 later tonight. On our final driver, Donovan David, get in his car. Actually, no, here comes the pace car out on track here. The all now 16 drivers take their cars out of pit road here. Get 2x2 ready to go here. 15-lap shootout here for duel number 1. Will be Justin Ron, that number 76. Chevy Camaro will be a Chevy front row with that 71 of Jason Oshkock. That green and black machine taking us to green here for this 15-lap shootout. Go ahead and take a look at our race weather for tonight's first duel. Right here from Daytona. 26-degree air temperature, 77-degree track temp with a 36-degree 36% humidity, and wind clear and bright skies here from Daytona Beach. Gonna be a fantastic night of racing here for this first duel. We're gonna see who's gonna be aggressive here in this first duel to kind of set off season number 1. Obviously, we saw James Thurston win the clash there in the next gen class, I guess if you want to call it that, winning the inaugural race of the season 6 season, if you want to call it that. So obviously, like Thurston will be in duel number 2, so it'll be interesting to see what he can do that second duel. But it's going to be all to the 76 of Justin Rott, the 71 of Jason Rajcock. See the pace car, hard left, turn down pit road. We'll get ready to go 15 laps here around the World Center of Racing, back into the restart zone, and the race over the Barney. The flagman will be going 15 laps here for duel number 1. Side by side here. Or it looks like third on back there. The bottom line cannot get formed. Rajcock with the top side help from Chris Lilly Trying to use that top side up. Try to get the run here off the corner of the exit here. You'll see, looks like it's going to be the 71. Maybe not. It's going to be a photo finish here to start your first lap. Give it to Justin Roth there. First lap under green. Side by side here for the battle for the lead here. It's going to be the 71 on the top, the 76 on the bottom. You'll start to see that third lane starting to go. It's high there. I believe that's the 61. Duncan Faw trying to use that third lane up there, trying to make something happen. That is not the 61. That is the 28. Brad Zesweski in that top side got going, and it's going to give him the lead. But here comes Alexander Schumacher in the 68. Side by side for the race lead here on the lap number 2. You'll see the number 28 of Brad going up there trying to block that third lane. Led by the number 9 of Connor Trafari. Going to be Shui who leads lap number 2 going into 3. Already aggressive racing here. The first couple laps is a huge bobble out of the 21 of Bascombe. He keeps a hold of it there off the bumper of the 20 of James Bomar. Bomar to the middle side there. No help for him. We'll see that 9 of Connor Trafari. Help from the top side. Help from Bascombe. Help from Rott. Trying to get it going, but here comes the bottom side once again. A heave into the bottom. Here comes Alexander Schumacher. Help from the 71. Here comes the 76 down middle 3. No one content where they're running right now, but across the stripe, I think Trafari be a photo finish once again. I think Trafari gets the lap led there. Looks like he will. Now 3 by 3 for the race lead. See the front, those top 2 lines, a little bit of an advantage over the bottom. See the bottom starting to start the fade here as well as the top. The middle really put together now is now Rott to the race lead. Here comes the 60 of Bud Limick to the bottom side. We'll grab Duncan Faw with him. The 2 forwards out front. I'll have another forward in the 12. Christopher Robinson. Also back there in the bottom is Duncan Faw off the nose. He'll go around here in the infield here. Will caution wave. Folks are back up here on the track. I don't think Duncan Faw is going to get a caution. We'll go back to the battle for the lead here. Bud Limick up front there. Out from Lorenzo. Where did Lorenzo come from here? Hitting the camera at the red car, and all of a sudden this number 1 machine is up here in P2 trying to battle for the race lead. Up to the middle side he goes. Dustin Rott with a huge push there to the back of the 1. This aggressiveness has just continued to build here as we approach the 1/3 mark here in this first duel. Di Lorenzo abandons that number 76. He's going to choose the bottom, and that's going to give a huge run for Justin Rott here in that 76. Help from James Bomar. Help from now Wyatt Roberts there in that number 42 machine. Lorenzo help on the bottom though. That bottom continues to surge here. Help from the 60, help from the 12 of Robinson. Lorenzo's gonna fly past the top lane there and retake the race lead. And I wonder if they're maybe using that 110 horsepower because these runs are just so massive. I haven't seen these kind of runs here in the next gen in a while. You see runs build so much, and you know, one driver could be leading the race all the way back outside the top 5 now. You look back at that top side with the 76 Rott. Now back there to P9, right? After that top side died, and you see a little bit of a checkup here, a little bit of an accordion there on the top side. Bud Limick still leads here, but going to have to try to block all the lanes there. With the black eye, Bomar with way too big of a run. He takes the lead for the first time here in duel number 1. It'll be Bomar, Belcher, Rott. And look at that, Rott. We just talked about him outside the top 5. He's back up inside the top 3 once again. See him push Belcher out to the race lead there. Really good pushing by the 76 machine. Oh, a little bit of squirrely out of the 21 again. Everybody, try to be aggressive here this first duel. Elsha using that top side. Trying to take the race lead. Here comes Bomar to the bottom side. He's going to get help from the 12. He saw the run forming on the bottom side. He goes down there and blocks the bottom. He'll easily clear for the race lead here. He might grab that 12 with him up front. Yes, he will. So it's going to be Bomar and now Robinson up in the top two. You can see 3x3 further back there for third place. I haven't seen anybody dedicated to pushing one or another here. Everybody's just trying to go for positions. Oh, the 36 around in the back. Cody Ramirez, a huge hit to the outside wall. Caution wave here for the first time in duel number 1. Got Ramirez here. Middle 3. Nobody just being super aggressive here. But really, this first what will be 10 laps of this first duel. We saw the 54 off the bumper of the 60 of Limerick. Grabs the 1, grabs the 28. I think grabs the 60 of the Schumacher as well. And a huge hit for the 36 of Ramirez there. Hooked to the outside wall off the nose of the 54 there after he got hooked by the 60. And a huge crash here. We approach lap number 10. The caution will wave here on lap 10. James Bomar up front here. Up 8 spots from where he started. A really good rebound for this 20. And I was surprised to see him with that little bit of a lackluster qualifying. I know Bomar knows how to get it done here at these super speedways. I just didn't expect him to have such a poor qualifying effort from what I'm used to seeing him be, on just that single run pace. Love to get a word with Bomar up here in the booth, but I don't see him in a VC anywhere. See if we can talk to number 53 of Chris Lilly here. See if we can get a word from up here in the booth. Hey, Chris Lilly, it's Christian up here in HB2 booth. Got a copy.
I gotcha.
Well, sitting back here in P3, it's going to be, what, a 3-lap dash, maybe a natural green-white checkered finish. You're sitting up here in the 3rd spot there, around where you started there in this duel, but obviously you're going to have to do a little bit of work to get yourself up to the front. It just seems like everybody was really aggressive this first duel. Walk us through kind of these first 10 laps in your eyes there with that 53 machine.
Well, that was absolutely crazy. Everybody's going for it. I guess they think this is the real race. But, yeah, I just kind of kept it easy. Stuck it on the bottom so I had an out if anything happened, and just kind of kept the gap to the car ahead of me and just kind of rode, and working out so far. We're up here, have a shot for the top 10 points. Good thing is we don't have to race into the show. So, but yeah, that's about it. Just taking it easy, trying to bring it home one piece.
Exactly. You talk about being locked in the show, being that top 30 in the points last season. Do you think maybe that's why maybe this aggressiveness is kind of showing that a lot of these drivers here tonight already know that they're locked into the 250 later tonight? They just want to go for it here for these extra points.
I think you could say so. They're trying to experiment, do what they can, see what will work and what won't work later on in the night. But, yeah, I definitely think everybody being locked into the show here is definitely playing a big role in the chaos going on up here. I mean, there's only 16 of us who are 3x3 like 6 rows deep, so that's definitely part of it.
I definitely agree. Some chaotic racing here these first 10 laps, but getting ready to go, I believe, 2 to green here. So we'll drag you back with your Uprise Motorsports teammates and see what you can do here in these last couple laps.
Thank you.
Slowly, we'll start P3 here, and the restart here should be a natural green-white checkered, I believe, here. Not a 3-lap dash. I'm unsure here. It should be a three lap dash, I believe, here for everybody wondering at home. Appreciate Chris for jumping up here and giving some insight here to the booth. Say to everybody watching, say hello to everybody watching at home. A little bit of an extended broadcast for tonight's race. Obviously, we'll have the first two duels followed directly, and then the 250 following right after these duels. So, gonna be interesting to see how this all shakes up. Obviously, we saw it. Aggressiveness building here in this duel number one. We saw 3x3, like Chris said, 5 to 6 rows deep. Trying to just figure out what they want to do. And honestly, I don't blame these guys for being aggressive here. It is a duel, right? And a lot of these drivers are locked in. And I believe, some of the drivers that aren't, honestly, I just feel like they need to just finish the race here because I believe a lot of these drivers were, full-time drivers, top 30 in points last season. So I feel like, this is the perfect time to experiment, trying to figure out what they can do in the race. Obviously, an 100-lap dash there. Later tonight on the World Center of Racing. So this is a great opportunity to learn how the car is going to drive, to figure out how the runs build. Figure out how aggressive you can be with the pushing and blocking and taking a push and receiving a push, right? It's going to be interesting to see. But we'll see the pace car. Hard left turn off pit road. On the pit road. Going to be Bomar in that EPI Toyota Camry alongside the 12. Dark Horse Mustang Robinson back to green here. 3-lap dasher in duel number one. But he even starts for both lines there, but you see the bottom. A lot more put together there. You see Chris Lilly all over the back bumper of the 20, but here comes the top lane now. Trying to get foamed up here in the 1 and 2, up through the gears here, up the speeds here to the high banks of 1 and 2. Start to see that outside, start to build some momentum. You see 3 wide already starting. That's the 17 of the Clan George trying to make something happen, but no one wants to go with them. You'll see that Olivia Rodrigo, Ford Mustang, go to the back. Be further up now. Robinson drops down in front of the 21 of Bascom to take the race lead here as you hit the stripe here with 2 to go here at duel number one. Justin out with the top side again. Help from Connor Trafari. Connor, was a candidate to win the Clash last week. Unfortunately, got caught up in a mess of out of his own doing. Lost the race to James Beaumont's. Oh, a huge shove to the 12 machine. That's going to stack already back up there. Robinson, a little squirrely out of 1 and 2. Off the bumper of the 21 of Bascom. Looks like everybody keeps it going, but now you start to see the 3 wide here with 2 to go here in duel number one. So they're back. Schumacher, help from the 61 of Duncan Faw, trying to make the top side work. It looks like those fall to the back of the pack here. We go through 3 and 4 for the penultimate time. It'll be Robinson, it'll be Bomar, side by side for the race lead as we hit the white flag here in duel number one. Here comes Chris Lillies. Oh, the 42 of White Roberts, the 60. Around in the back there. Gonna keep it going. Obviously, it's the white flag. We're not going to get a caution there. It's going to be the 12 of Robinson through 1 and 2 with the race lead, trying to block off all these lanes here. We'll see. James Balmer up on the top side, trying to get the top side working. It's going to be the 12 and the 21 versus the 20 and the 76 Arat on the top side. But you see the 12 clear all around here on the final lap. Through 3 and 4, you see some contact between the 21 and the 20 of Bomar. In the top, build out any momentum here as we cross the stripe here. Bomar has an advantage, and Bomar across the stripe. He's going to get it here at duel number one. James Bomar victorious here at duel number one. See him spinning out here in the grass here, up the track, and around he goes here. Congratulations to Bomar. He'll get those bonus points here as he wins duel number one. So now will be another 16 car field here for duel number 2. Get on, some drivers will get here in their cars ready to go here. Some big hitters here in duel number 2. To say the least, looking at our entry sheet here for the second duel. Remember, this all kind of was based off of qualifying speed. So I believe everybody who qualified in the odd numbers got that duel number 1. Everybody who qualified it even in duel number 2. The most of our drivers here out on track. We'll go ahead and go down the track side here. Take a look at our starting lineup here. Here for duel number 2. So it'll be AJ Hyder and the number 44 machine there. I believe for Uprise Motorsports as well. He'll be starting on the front row here in duel number 2. To the 55 in that Cita Caliente, number 55. Fidel Fabian, he showed a lot of speed in the Clash last week. Going to be on the front row here in duel number 2. You look at Austin Dorian back there in the 50. Malachi Drake in the 90 machine, rounding out your fast four. James Bomar in that number 82. A new signing for Uprise Motorsports there for Bomar alongside Chris Downey in the number 27 machine. Looking further back here in P7, Matthew O'Brien and Jonathan Jurgensmeyer back there in P8. And rounding out the top 10 will be Gabe Cazola, Wayne Kennedy in that number 11 machine. Andretti Robinson in the 45 will be back there in P number 11 alongside Ollie Reeves in that 31 machine. Look at Michael Walls back there in P13. Hanu Zola back there in 14th in that 13th AD graphics machine alongside rounding out the last part of the field tonight, Shocky Tarpley, Stephen Maggio, and then number 51, you see him still on payroll there. Like maybe missed the start of the race here, fortunately for that 51, but I'll be your 16 car field here, number 2. So an aggressive duel number 1. Might think that those drivers here in duel number 2 saw what happened, saw the aggressiveness, and might even ramp up off of that. We might see a little bit more mellow, a little bit more lethargic. Race number 2, but we'll just have to see. You see the lights off on the pace car. It'll be a Chevy Ford front row this time by. Last duel was a Chevy front row. This time we'll get a Chevy and a Ford up there, up front. We'll hand the race back over the bar near the flagman as they enter the United Rentals restart zone and back green. Start duel number 2. I already saw a car into the outside wall there. That was a 31 of Ollie Reeves, and caution out early. Caution will wave here early here. Like maybe Jonathan Jurgensmeyer looks like was the driver who got that outside wall there. Look at see. Yeah, Jurgensmeyer up an outside wall here. Oh, wow. That was a huge netcode situation, I believe, there for Jurgensmeyer. We'll go back and take a look. Rewind the cameras here. You see just up on the backside of Chris Downey. You see this car just basically get almost like shoved. Like you'd shove someone back in like a fight or something like that, right? He gets put in an outside wall. You see the 11 and Wayne Kennedy also get a little bit of damage there. The 00 stops on the track there. I don't know if that was intentional or not, or if you were just kind of in shock of what happened, but that definitely will initiate at least the iRacing caution system here on the first lap there. Just really unfortunate for Jurgensmeyer there. Quite literally nothing he did wrong there. Fortunately, just bad luck with the netcode there. Bright yellow and blue. 00 Ford Mustang. Be lots of right front damage to this 00 machine, so you'll probably see him get side here. Try to get as much as he can get fixed. And I don't know. You see Maggio on track now. I don't know if he intentionally missed the start. To try to, stay out of the havoc of what could potentially happen here in the duels, but got the caution he needed to at least stay with the lead pack here. Jurgensmeyer down pit road. A lot of drivers down pit road, actually. Something pushing his box big time. Wayne Kennedy down pit side. He got a part of this as well. You see that back end getting popped back out. Ollie Reeves down pit side. I believe I saw him get the outside wall as well. So Connor Zola down pit side. Even Maggio again down pit side. I think these guys might be just sitting down here to give up track position, but at least we know at least for the 00, trying to get some damage fixed as well as the 11 of Wayne Kennedy. Saw some drivers come out. Like Maggio, the only one who continues to pit down pit side there. The 00. No, the 00 also down there trying to get some damage fixed. Do we see a couple of drivers in front of the 44 there? We see so through all that havoc, it looks like Hyder might have lost it. Definitely lost a couple spots there. So it's gonna be Fidel Fabian, Malachi Drake up front here. See the 82 with Thurston, a little bit of a ride down the grass there. Okay, just a duels. Don't do that in the race. I think he'll be fine. We'll see the lights off on the pace car. So it will be Fabian and Downey, your front row there. No, Downey up 4 spots there, and 4 spots in 1 lap. You can't really complain about that. Malachi Drake, AJ Hyder, that fast 4 here. Really to start your race. Obviously, we did go green there. Start duel number 2. Obviously got that caution early here on the back straightaway from that little bit of netcode contact between the 27 to Downey and the 00 Jurgensmeyer. Go look at the stats here for Downey. He back there started 6th up to 3rd. Actually, that'll be 2nd once we cross the line here. Those stats continue to build here for the number 27 machine. Downey trying to start off season 6 on a high note. Had to race for a championship last season, and season 5 did not have the luck to get to the championships. Championship 6. My apologies. Trying to start off season 6 on a high note. Trying to get this duel 2 under his belt. That good track position here for the 250 later tonight. Race car will go off. This time it'll be Fidel Fabian. Downey, the Ford Chevy front row, back to the stripe, and back green here. With 11 laps to go here in duel number 1. Fidel with a good jump. He's going to bring that top side with him. AJ Hyder's got that bomb side working really well for himself. He's going to retake the race lead. Help from Gabe Cazola. Like Gabe gave the leading push and then dropped to the back here. The AJ Hyder up to the top side. And here comes the 25 at Tarpley. He started way towards the back here, up 14 spots. He's going to take the lead here through 3 and 4. Up with the 13 Azola. Across the stripe. No contest. It's going to be the 25 here to lead your first lap here under green. And Michael Walls in the 24. He's going to look middle 3. No help. He'll jump up to the top side. Now you see Tarpley. He jumps to the top side. Help with the 45 of Andretti Robinson. That bottom starting to roll here. Connie Zola, Gabe Cazola, Malachi Drake, that top 3 on the bottom. If you can get really just 3 cars that know how to work with each other, it's going to be really hard to beat that line. Really, if you just get a pusher, knows what they're doing, and get someone that 3rd spot that can continue to pack the air to the back of that pusher car, it's going to be hard, you know, to break up that lane. And see Cazola doing a really good job right now pushing. You see in the corners backing off, trying to save some temps. And then down the back stretch, you'll see here, we'll go on our TV3 cam, tandeming with the 13 machine Azola, right? You'll see once again, through 3 and 4, you'll see him back off a little bit here in the 3 and 4. Save a little bit of temps. Then you'll see through the tri-oval, once again, you'll see him re-latch back onto the back end of the 13. Continue to push this inside lane forward the best as he can, but here comes the outside. Here comes Ollie Reeves here in that 31 machine. Gonna get some help from some drivers behind there as well. To the 52 of Austin Dorian. In that Highway Patrol inspired car. Love to hear the story behind that scheme. But he's doing a good job pushing that 31 out. They'll be side by side going to the back straight. And Ollie Reeves through 3 and 4 will be your race leader. What can the bottom do here as we enter the high banks here in the 3 and 4? You see the 18 up onto the apron a little bit. That's going to slow down that bottom. You know that top side is going to have a huge run out of the corner. And Ollie Reeves across the stripe there. I don't think he got the lap there. I think that was Zola who got it at the line. You'll see side by side through 1 and 2. The 31 and the 13 versus the 18 and the 52. The pushies versus the pushers here. Looks like that top side starting to build some momentum. The Ollie clear all around here. Here comes Doran. Move to the outside. He's going to get some help from the 25 of Shockey. The Ollie Reeves down to the bottom side. Huge shows by Kader Zola. Moving around the 31 there through 3 and 4, but he keeps it going straight. Across the stripe here. 6 to go here in duel number 2. Just like that, that top side starting to fall back once again. I'm not going to say it's over. And now the 13 up at, and he's going to try to go around the 31. Going to get help from Gabe Cazola. Oh, the 31 around. Ollie Reeves around. Caution will wave. He'll grab the 90. And Malachi Drake as well. The caution will wave here for the second time here in the second duel. Not sure really what happened there. We'll have to go back here and look on the blimp cam here. See what happened to the 31. Just a bad push from Malachi Drake. And then shot the 31 up into the side of the car on his right. Malachi also get caught up in there as well. So caution will wave here. 5 to go. This might put us into overtime territory. Have to see. The Connor Zola will lead us back to the caution. caution out here on lap 11. Trying to see if we can find anybody in this top 3. Maybe talk to down here in the HVTV booth. I don't see Connor Zola. I don't see Gabe Cazola. I don't see Austin Doran in any VCs. At least that I could see. That's a shame. As we look for the back here, you know, it's been definitely, I wouldn't say as chaotic. I don't think the aggressiveness has been higher than it was in Duel 1, but we just seen the mistakes happen just a little bit more. Obviously, that first caution with the 0-0 of Jurgensmeyer, not anybody's fault there, in my opinion, if you ask me. Just, you know, that's what happens when you run on a simulator. Those little momentary faults happen occasionally. And we'll see those happen from time to time. And then the second caution was a little bit from a mistake. Obviously, Alki Drake getting in the back of the 31 of Ollie Reeves. Send him around. Ollie Reeves still down pit side, trying to get some damage fixed. The rear end all chewed up there. Honestly, if there's not any wheel damage, if there's not any toe damage, if there's not any engine damage, I wouldn't really be that concerned if I was these guys coming down there. Obviously, you want to get as much fix as you can, but also, you know, we're gonna go back down across the stripe here. It'll be I believe, a natural green-white checkered. So we'll get the white flag this time by. Now send us the 3 to go here under pacing. We'll have a 2-lap dash or green-white checkered here for duel number 2. As we say hello to everybody watching at home. Blue Cup 1129, we appreciate you coming in and using HVTV for your destination for this Thursday night. As a Montana and chat, who you rooting for? Who do you think's gonna get it done here in duel number 2? You do see the lights off on the pace car. We get set. As we get set, go for this natural green white checkered here in duel number 1. Duel number 2, my apologies. I believe we would, if we need to. We do have 3 other green white checkered attempts if we need to pull them out here in the second duel. Connor Zola, Gabe Gazola. Get us back to the field here. Chevy, Toyota front row. You approach the United Rentals restart zone. You'll see the pace car. One last turn down pit road. We'll see a battle for the stage 2 win here. It'll be Cazola and Zola. Restart zone, back to green here. Natural green white checkered. 2 laps to go here from the World Center of Racing. Top side really got formed together there, and it's going to be the top 3 on that top side who gets clear for the race lead there. That's going to be Zola, Thorin, and Downey clear there. You'll see Gabe Cazola jumping up there to fourth on the top side. Now leave the bottom side to Fidel Fabian. Help from the one. As they try to get that bottom side for him, but the top side starting to surge here. Look further back here. Everybody forming that top side there. See Fidel Fabian in the 55 trying to make something work, and in the 45. Robinson trying to make a line there on the bottom. Right now, nothing to go here as we approach the white flag here at stage number 2. And duel number 2. Here comes Gabe Cazola. He's gonna jump down to the bottom side. He's gonna be the first guy trying to make a move here on this top side. But here comes a 3-wide move here with Fidel Fabian. He's got a huge head of steam. Here coming down the backstretch. There goes Robinson around in the back. White flag's already out, so we will not get a caution. It's gonna be Connor Zola, Austin Doran, and here comes Fidel Fabian with a huge run here into the 3 and 4. Connor Zola with the masterful block there, and Fidel Fabian, no run. It's gonna be between him and the 24 Michael Walls. Mike is not gonna have a run, I don't think, and it's gonna be Connor Zola who gets duel number 2. Connor Zola leads 8 laps in this second duel. He gets it done here from Daytona. Put himself at the front at the perfect time there. Connor Zola gets it done here in duel number 2. Now we are going to take a little bit of a short intermission, get the field set here for the 100 lap dash here for week number 1 here for the Daytona 250. We do have a little bit of a 5-lap dash race here that we will be showing you fans here at home to try to get the field set, and we will be switching sessions. And as we're told to join there, we will. But we say congratulations to James Belmar. Congratulations to Connor Zola, as they get it done in their respective duels. Have a couple of drivers who decide to come out here and run these last couple laps for you guys at home. Like we'll be like a 4 to 6 lap field here, looks like maybe. Yeah, 4-car field here. Try to get it done here. Well, 5-lap shootout here as we get the starting lineup here for you guys before we make the new session to jump in here for the Daytona 250. There we go. It's gonna be a 4-car little race here. They will entertain you guys while we get the session up here.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
As we welcome everybody back to the virtual Daytona International Speedway here for the initial start of season 1 here for the Daytona 250. Once again, my name is Christian Elgario, lead producer and commentator for this 100 lap race here. The kickstart, season number 6. Just got just over, I believe, 4 minutes left in practice, so I guess it's a good time to get drivers who are advantage here of these laps here. Here, one driver on pit who was making some laps. It looks like it is Fidel Fabian, 55. Let him come down pit side here. Do a quick refresher of the paint schemes to make sure everybody looks up to date there. So, but it's like it's definitely gonna be excited to see how this first points paying race is gonna be here, especially here from the high banks at Daytona. Nothing better than coming here to start off a season. I mean, it's the most NASCAR thing that could ever happen. I get it, and a lot of drivers might not like coming to a super speedway to start off the season. It's a really, if you don't have a good race here tonight from Daytona, it's a really bad place to start your season. But you have to come to expect that sooner or later, we're gonna have to come here regardless. I feel like it's the best place to do it. You see this happen in real life for decades here, as NASCAR will come here to start off their season here for the Daytona 500. Obviously, we cut that race in half here for the Daytona 250. Give Fidel on pit side here. Now we see that 55. See him making some mock green flag pit stops, it looks like there. And that's something we have to talk about, and it's something we'll talk about throughout the race here, because I presume we will get some green flag pit stops tonight. These drivers are way too talented to not, correct too much to where I hope we do get some green flag pit stops, but gonna be something to talk about is green flag pit stops, because that is something that can change the outcome of your race tonight. You have to make sure that you know how to get down pit road, how to not speed, not how to ruin your race, right? Because, at least as a driver myself, I'd much rather get taken out in a wreck and be like, well, this wasn't meant to be. But if I take myself out of the race by speeding down pit road because I wasn't prepared, and how do get down pit road in a timely fashion, without, giving myself a penalty or losing too much time down pit road, being a little bit too cautious, a little bit too passive, that I lose the lead draft. That's something that, especially if you lose a championship in a close margin, you all the way back here to Daytona, where you might have, had a mistake coming down pit road. But you hear the silence from the track. We continue to count down these, last minute and a half here, and unofficial practice here before we get ready to go. 100 laps, 250 miles here from the World Center of Racing. It's gonna be super interesting. Obviously, we kind of drive a little bit forward in time. We did the duels at night. We'll come over the next day to do the race here. You see the sun is bright. And what a way, to wake up, smell the roses. They come to the World Center of Racing to start off week number 1. We get ready to get done here. We'll go ahead and get ready to start your starting lineup here, presented by HVTV, if it will let us do it. I don't think we'll be able to see it until we get into the race here. So just a couple more, about 30 odd seconds left in this warm up, and we'll get ready to get your starting lineup here, presented by High Velocity TV. Welcome everybody in here for the week 1 race here from the World Center of Racing here for the SAAC, or the SAAC season 6 Cup Series. We get ready to kick off week number 1. Saw the clash last week as we saw James Thurston win the clash there after taking it away from Connor Trafari, who got caught up in a late race caution. James Thurston was able to squeak away with the first win of the season there from the clash. And now we come to Daytona. See who can get it done there. Obviously, James Thurston, reigning season champion. See, now we should be able to see starting lineup here tonight for tonight's race here. Now we will go ahead and look at your starting lineup here. We look at AJ Hyder, James Bomar, the front 2 here coming into Daytona. You look at Connor Zola, Christopher Robinson back there running out row 2. You look at Michael Walls, Connor Trafari, row 3. Abe Cazola, Jason Rajcock back there in row 4, and rounding out the top 10, James Thurston, Brad Szewski, rounding out your top 10. Look for the back here outside the top 10. Back there in P11, Austin Dorian alongside Alexander Schumacher. Back there in P12, Matthew O'Brien, Shaki Tarpley. Back there in 14, then you look outside the top 14 to 15th. Chris Lilly in the 53 machine alongside Fidel Fabian. Running out row number 8. Look back to row number 9 is going to be the Clan George in the 17 machine alongside Jonathan Jurgensmeyer. Not the second duel he wanted there. Getting some netcode contact there, sending him further to the back. Looking back here out, rounding out your top 20, Nicholas Budlimick, Malachi Drake in that number 90 machine. Back further to Duncan Faw back there in 21st. Chris Downey and the number 27 machine will be 22nd. Be back to 23rd, Cody Ramirez. Gillen Belsha in the 54. Like the Andretti Robinson in 26th. And Brian Lorenzo back there in the 1. He'll be P27. And rounding out to 28 car field tonight, Gabriel Dahari back there in 72. Might be having some issues with the sim real quick. We are going to show up your thumbnail real quick. See if we can figure this out for you fans at home. Getting out of the sim, getting re back in. Looks like there's some other drivers who are having some of the same issues. So we'll go ahead and jump back in here if it will allow us to in the sim. Apologize for this momentary pause in the action. But at least we got your starting lineup here. I imagine we should see some cars on track as soon as we load into the session here. Everybody filling up the VCs, making sure they're ready to go here for 100 laps here from the World Center of Racing here to start week number 1. We continue to load in. We appreciate everybody for coming out and watching tonight's broadcast here from the Daytona Duels. No, Frank, we're just getting ready to start the 100 laps here. Well, about 2 minutes left in the testing phase here. 2 minutes left in warm-up. That looks a bit. Looking, we might have had just a breakage in the system here. These things loading in here. Oh, we see. I've never seen this before. Some parking lot action here. The 42 Wyatt Roberts and Donovan David here in the infield grass here. Trying to just mellow down before the race here. That's just super unique and interesting. I really like this. It's pretty funny. See that. Be just over a minute and a half left in practice here. We'll go trackside. Take a look at some of your drivers who are actually working to get ready to go here for 100 laps. Take you back here to trackside. Look back at here, what I was talking about here. Wyatt Roberts, Donovan David down here in the parking lot here with the race fans, trying to celebrate, try to mellow down before they get ready to go 100 laps here from the virtual Daytona International Speedway. You see that number 42 machine we've seen so many times here on the channel. See him racing in the NWP 400. So interested to see what Wyatt can do there in that race. But looking further back here at some other drivers here trying to set some laps here on track. Brian Lorenzo with practice winding down. That practice underway here and under wraps here, so we'll get ready to get your, I believe, I'm not even sure if but once again, just to be sure, we'll go ahead and go through your unofficial starting positions once again, just to make sure we got everything right here for you fans at home. We'll go back trackside here. Go ahead and do your starting grid one more time here. Now it looks like we do have a little bit of a different situation here further back. So I'm gonna go ahead and do your unofficial starting lineup here once again. I have to timing and scoring one quick second here. Look at showing up some ill-advised drivers here for the cars there. But you see Justin Rott there gonna be your pole sitter here for the Daytona 250. You see back there in the 44. AJ Hyder, James Bomar, Connor Zola are going to be rounding out that second row. You look further back there at P5 and that number 12 Robinson. You see Michael Walls, player face here, makes his way down to the P6. See Connor Trafari back there in P7. Gabe Cazola rounding out the row 4 in P8. You see Raj Kak and James Thurston back there rounding out the top 10. See Brad Kozlowski back there in 11th alongside Austin Doran in the 12th place spot. See back to the P13, Alexander Schumacher, Matthew O'Brien, and Amir Bascom round out your top 15. Sean, Jockey Tarpley, Chris Lilly, Fidel Fabian, Declan George, and Wayne Kennedy. Your top 20 here. Looking outside the top 20 here, as we know, have 34 cars here signed up and ready to go here from the World Center of Racing. Wyatt Roberts will start back there in P21 alongside Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, Nicholas Budlimick, and Malachi Drake, your top 24. You see back there in row 13, it's going to be Duncan Faw alongside Chris Downey. 27th will go to Cody Ramirez alongside Steven Maggio, and rounding out the top 30, Lynn Belsha and then Jody Robinson, and that number 45. Further back here, outside the top 30, look at Brian Lorenzo, Ollie Reeves in that 31 machine, Gabriel Tahari, and Donovan David in the number 94 McDonald's machine. We've seen him run time and time again. He'll round out your 34 car field tonight here for week 1 here from the virtual Daytona International Speedway. Well, 100 laps here. We'll take a look at our race weather for the final time. See back there, 72 degree air temp, 77 degree track temp, 56% humidity, little to no wind tonight with a clear sky here from Daytona Beach, Florida. Perfect conditions for some great racing tonight here from the high banks of Daytona. Will be a Chevy front row and then a Toyota Chevy runs out that fast four. You'll see a Ford and a Chevy running out the top 6 here. We get ready to go green. The lights off on the pace car. We'll get ready to make that hard left turn down the pit road for the first time here. And a points paying action here, season number 1. We'll see fans on their feet. The pace car take the hard left turn down pit road. We'll have Barney, flagman in hand, and we'll get ready to start off here. Season number 6 here. With Barney off, we get ready to go race it here from Daytona. Go through backstretch for the first time. It's going to be Justin Run on the bottom side. Making headway, but here comes James Bomar in that 20 EPI Camry. Out from the top side. They are side by side for the race lead as we cross the stripe for the first time. Give it to James Bomar. Bomar drops onto the bomb side. Hope from Justin Rott. He'll jump up to the top side. So not anybody really figuring out what they want to do. But yeah, did you see Bomar? I led that one lap. I do not want to get caught up in anything. I'm going to the back of the pack here. I'm okay sitting back there in the 30s here. While you guys battle it out there and get your cars tore up. With Bomar to the back, you'll see Christopher Robinson. He leads his first lap here from Daytona, going into lap 3. Top side, building momentum. The Rajcock in the 71, that unbound green and black Chevy Camaro, pushing out the 12 machine there. That bright white 12 machine there, that Ford Dark Horse Mustang. They drop to the bottom. I'll allow AJ Hyder in that top side to build some momentum. Help from Connor Zola, help from Michael Walls. As here comes Walls at the top. He's gonna make it top of 3. AJ Hyder will go up there and block that top side. Now we're 3 by 3 for the race lead. It'll be Robinson, Zola, Hyder. Across the stripe there, but it's gonna be AJ Hyder, maybe. Across the stripe it will be. He leads his first laps here, going into lap 4. Already starting to see some drivers start to shuffle some people out to get with their teammates and try to get with the people they want to be with. I think that's exactly what Walls did. Shuffled out the 13 of Zola to get with the 44 of AJ Hyder. But look at that. Here comes James Thurston up to the front there. That number 82 machine. Your team with Uprise Motorsports. Remember, race for his own team in that number 82 machine. That as a Toyota for Precision Motorsports, right? But sign with Uprise with that W car. New number, same new font, same number, same driver, same championship blood there in that 82 machine. He works his way up inside the top 3. He jumps to the top side. He will now lead the top side. Gonna get help from his teammate there in Hyder in that 44 machine. James Thurston up to the top side. Help from the 44 and the 24. Hyder. Thurston spearheading the top side. As you still see the 71 of Jason trying to get that bottom side working there. Help from the 18 of Kazola. Help from the 76 of Rott. Now Thurston in the bottom. He'll lead the bottom side. You have to think there's a little bit of teammate games being played there. Maybe the 44 was getting a little hot. Thurston jumped down in front of the bottom side. Help AJ get those Tims cooled back down, and he'll have Michael Walls to help him get to the front. Here comes Gabe Kazola to the top side. So 2 by 2 by 2, 8, 9, 10, 11 car lengths deep. Everybody's still trying to find that track position, trying to find that buddy to work with. Right now, this bottom side is starting to slinky ahead there. Thurston, help from the 71 of Rajcock. And Justin Rott starting to pull a little bit away from that top side. You start to see 3 wide further back outside the top 10. I believe that's Malachi. I believe that's Connor Zola spearheading the top side. Trying to get that little 4-car tandem up and going. You see the 11 back there with Wayne A. Kennedy. That 7-Eleven machine trying to make something happen. But you see that top side starts to dissipate once again. So back from 3 back to 2 wide now. The Austin Dorian peeked out of line there for a second, I believe. That wasn't an Austin Dorian. That was a 21 of Bascom, I believe, who peeked out of line. But look at this. That top side, as soon as I said the top side was dying, here comes the top side once again. Justin Rott and Alexander Schumacher up 11 spots up into the P2 spot. Where did the 68 come from? Shui up here, up to P2. 11 spots up the track from where he started only 8 laps ago. See, a little bit of contact for the back. The 52, Whirly with some contact there. And I think we are wrecking to the back because we are. The 71 around in the back. 53 around in the back. Chris Lilly involved in this. As we will stay green. I'll have to take a look and see what happened here. Caution is now out. So off the blimp cam here. I saw the 52 up there. A little bit of contact with the 43 and then a bump from the 55 Fidel. You see James Thurston down onto the apron. Trying to save it, I think he does. But this whole thing causes an accordion. You see the 60 getting in the back of the 53. The 71 goes around as well. And Shockey Tarpley slow right now. I believe that's what probably triggered this caution, I believe. Like Chris Lilly called that caution. It makes sense. He was caught up in the wreck. It was a 2+ car incident, so it would make sense that they would throw that. So caution here on lap number 9. Justin Rott started up front. Continues to keep control of this race there. That GOAT 76 Chevy Camaro. Further back here, the Shoei. And the Shoei Sports Books. Toyota Camry up 11 spots. An impressive way to get up to the front early. You know, at least my mentality for these super speedways is you always want to be... I always want to put myself up front. Because when you get mired in the back, that's when you get caught up in the mess. You look back at Chris Lilly. We know he's a really talented driver, but was caught up, you know, he was behind that first kind of stack up there. He's one of the guys who pays for, you know, that incidental contact from the drivers in front of him. You see a little bit of left front damage on that 53 Crown Extra machine. Nice looking paint scheme for Chris, obviously. Something we've come to know. Nice paint schemes out of the Chris Lilly camp. Then we can go on board with him to see if we can see any more residual damage. I don't see it much, but see him. Looks like he's going to take 4 fresh Goodyear tires. Sit down there, try to get as much damage as he can get fixed. See a plethora of drivers. I'm down pit side here. Only 2 drivers stay out. That is the 82 of James Thurston and the 45 Andretti Robinson. Everybody else, quite literally the whole rest of the field, decides to come down, top off on some Sunoco race fuel at the very least. Come back out trackside. The light's still on the pace car. Duncan Faw down pit side here still. He will try to stay on the lead lap there. Comes out. Faw Creations Ford Mustang. Looking scheme for Duncan as well. Now, something I will say about SAAC is they always show out with the paint schemes. Some beautiful looking cars here tonight here from the virtual World Center of Racing. So you'll see the lights off on the pace car back 2x2 here. James Thurston and Freddie Robinson, the 2 drivers to stay out here after this caution came out. So they'll inherit the race lead here for that 45 and 82 machine. Everybody else further back decided to come down pit side. At the very least, top off on some Sunoco fuel. We saw some other drivers take some 4 fresh your Eagles, but for the most part, just a splash and go for fuel. Get them a little bit further on the gas if we do go green here throughout the rest of the race. Everybody 2 by 2. James Thurston. Freddie Robinson. Chevy forward front row. We get ready to go back in here. Pace car. Hard left turn on pit side. We'll be ready to go back inside the United Rentals restart zone. Start lap number 12 here from Daytona. See a good jump by that top side. Andretti up from the 76. Got that top side a little bit spring loaded there. Starting to pull out a little bit ahead of that bottom line there, held up by James Thurston and that 82 machine. Gabe Kuzola all over the back end of that 82, trying to get that bottom side to work there. Here, there goes Shuey to the bottom. He wants to lead the bottom side there with the huge head of momentum. He's going to look side by side with Andretti here for the race lead in the high banks of 3 and 4. Side by side for the race lead there. A little bit of contact between the 45 and the 86 and the 68, my apologies. And Shuey gets his first lap led here in the 250. A little bit of 3 wide action for the back there. AJ Hyder going to the back. Him and Jurgensmeyer, I think, wanted to get something going, but the momentum is not there because they will head their way to the back half of the top 20 into the 30s. Further on up, Shuey, help from Thurston, trying to get this bomb side spring loaded once more. I think it's going to be hard for one of these lanes to kind of become dominant like we used to see here with these actions, just because of how bad the side draft is, how draggy these cars have become. I haven't really seen, you know, in these new updates with the cars, a lane just get up there and become just flat out dominant. Like we saw right there, the top. Start to build some momentum, start to pull away, and here comes the bottom once again. Ooh. Shuey a little sideways there, almost contact. Oh, the 76 around. Justin Rott here stopped down the back straight, and caution away here for the second time. Of our chopper cam, now you see the 76, a little bit of a blink out there. I believe this would be off the bumper of this 24 machine, yeah. The bad push, I think maybe a little bit of net code is involved as well. Justin not around there. I think he only got maybe 1 or 2 more cars there, but sliding in front of the pack there will definitely warrant a caution. We get our second one of the night here on lap 15. Dewey up front. We'll see if we can talk to the driver of the 68 here in the booth. We can find him. Hey, Shuey, it's Christian up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
I do.
Well, leading the 250 here early. Obviously, had a really good finish in the clash last week. Obviously, been aggressive to get up towards the front. There's everybody behind you comes down pit road there, but obviously leading the field tonight. Obviously, a couple of cautions here to start the race tonight. Obviously, is there something you expected to see here with the first race of the season coming here to the high banks of Daytona?
Yeah, absolutely. Every first race of a new season can always be a barn burner. With a lot of guys change over the off season, we welcome in new members as well. We put some members on a leash and we let some people go free range. So it's just a large mix of different agendas here, and just it's a long race. Really, they don't award points and anything else mid race. So it's just a lot of jockeying. This next gen is incredibly raceable and fun to drive with. So it's producing a lot of great competitive racing, and it's happy to be out front and have a clean windshield.
Exactly. I feel like that's the goal, that especially here at the first part of this race, because I feel like a lot of the times here in these next gen races, in the middle part, that's where you start to lull out, and that's where you'd most likely see that green flag pit cycle to happen. Here in these first, I would say, 30 to 40 laps is where you might see a lot of the wrecks happen. Is that kind of a goal or here early, is to stay up in front to try to keep that, number 68 clean and green here to continue to go forward here for this 100-lap race?
Yeah, but it's mainly survive. Like I said, there's nothing to go for. Being up here is purely just by working with my friends and just being patient. But once we get to the halfway point, there's once again we still got 50 to go. It's okay to kind of, I wouldn't say hide, but kind of mind your business and work with the guys that won't run you over or ruin your race because of a checkup or something like that. So still plenty of a long way to go. Only just about a quarter of the way through. So hoping we can keep it up front here. But if we get shuffled to the back, we'll just have to work our way back up to the front and just avoid the chaos in the process.
Well, sounds like a plan for you and this whole 8 team. Yeah. Thank you for your time up here in the booth, and we wish you good luck, and we'll drag you back there with your teammates to get ready for this restart here on lap 17.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
Alexander Schumacher. We saw a little bit of, once again, a little bit of a split strategy here for this restart there. We saw, once again, it looks like the top 9 on back. The top 8 on back. Actually, top 9 on back. They come down pit side there, top off on Noco Field once again here. So it's going to be Gabe Cazzola, the 18 machine, the first driver here who came out of pit road here. So he's going to have a little bit better fuel mileage than the guys in front. Only 6 laps, so, and obviously when you talk about fuel mileage here under caution, that's probably maybe even 1 to 2 laps, right? Because, it's pretty easy to save fuel here under caution for these drivers who decided to stay out. But every little lap can matter here at the end, depending on how the strategy works here. If we do get those long green flag cycles, or if we get like an ill-advised caution here during the green flag pit cycle, right? This could be a make or break for a lot of these drivers when it comes to, trying to get as much fuel packed in this car as they can here as we get ready to go back green. You see the 68 of Schumacher, he decided to stay out. He also picked the top side here for this restart. Remember, the leader always does get lane choice of which lane he wants to start in, so he decides to pick 27 to Downey to push him out front versus the 52 of Doran. And that will leave the 21 of Bascom in the P2 spot, help with the 52 of Doran. Everybody stacked up 2 by 2. Be a Chevy Toyota front row there. Looks like it'll be a Chevy lockout for that fast 4 outside of the front row. Once again, you'll see that pace car. Another hard left turn down pit road, and it's going to be Shuey leading us back to green, back in the United Reynolds restart zone, and back to green here on lap 18. Pretty good jump by the Shuey in that 68. Going to have to get linked up with that top side the best he can. You see that bottom really linked together there. They're going to have a huge advantage going into 1 and 2. You see the 27 to Downey. He's going to leave the 68 out to dry there. He wants to race lead here, going through the gears. Shuey, though, help from the top side. Gonna get out there in front, but here comes the run from the bottom side. That bottom side is always gonna be better in the corners. It's the shortest way around the track. Now you're starting to see a little bit of 3 wide action. As the 25 of Sharpley is going to take those guys 3 wide. Will it work? It looks like the 00 of Jurgensmeyer are going to be the one left out to dry here, but Shuey continues to lead the race here. Help from Szewski at the 28. Downing up to the top side there. He's going to leave the 52s. Oh, Jurgensmeyer around in the back. Caution waves again here from the high banks of Daytona. Looks like Keelan Belsha also involved. I don't know if they're stuck together, if what's going on here. I think there's some unhappy feelings here from the 00. Big look back here on the HVTV replay to see what happened. The 00 got shafted here at top of 3. And that's not really on the 54, unfortunately. That's just kind of, it looks like a racing deal to me. Jurgensmeyer got taken top of 3. And yeah, he got a huge shove from the 54, but the 54 gave a good bump. Tried to back off. And then Keelan got driven through by the 36, right? There's not really a whole lot the 54 could have done there. He grabs the 1 as well. Looks like Wyatt Roberts involved. 11 of Wayne Kennedy involved. But I wouldn't really blame that on the 54. The 54 was just leading the top, leading that 3rd lane. And when the 54 gets driven through, there's not really a whole lot that they can do when they're trying to check up for you and they're just getting dogpiled there. You know, I would just call that a racing deal if you ask me. Look at the 00 here, the damage there on the left front. Really, the whole left side of that car got some scrapes and damage there. See if Jonathan's going to come down pit side as he will. Not surprised to see that. A lot of drivers once again on pit side going to top off on some Sunoco race fuel once again. Omar down here topping off on some fuel. You see the 12, you see the 71. A lot of drivers once again going to come up, top off. 76 taking some tires. Again, we see some drivers coming down, topping off. That looks like that will be the top. Once again, the top round 10-ish on back will come down and top off. Looks like Duncan Faw, the last of the drivers who didn't stay out. Who did stay out. That 61 machine. And further back, it's going to be Fidel Fabian who leads the pitters out of pit road. Get that Casita Caliente machine. Very nice looking car for Fidel. I really like this car a lot. We're approaching the 1/4 mark here in this race already, so even though we've gotten a couple cautions, this race is going by faster than I think a lot of these drivers expected. Still an estimated about an hour left in the race. Obviously, the cautions are going to slow down that as well, but you know, as Shuey said, nothing to race for, so I really don't expect, I wouldn't expect these guys to be racing that hard here. I mean, they have 80 laps to go here at tonight's race. Still a lot of time to get up towards the front. Lights are off on the pace car. It'll be a Ford Toyota front row. Szewski made his way up towards the front here, up 9 spots. from where he started in that rally house machine. There'll be once again a Ford Toyota front row. Look at some of our biggest movers tonight. Really in the race. Now we'll go to Chris Downey in the 27. Got 22, 21 spots. Hard to tell here. I think it's going to be 23 spots, actually. Like, you'll start P3. Just a little bit lane back off the 28 machine. But he's up 23 spots where he started. So a good rebound by Downey. Obviously, the cautions have kind of allowed some drivers to gain some track position without having to, drive up to the field. But still, nonetheless, a good place to be there if you're in that 27 car. Knowing that you're in the top 3, knowing that you're most likely ahead of the wreck. So, obviously, anything can happen here from the high banks of Daytona, but and now a safe place, I believe, for that 27 machine. But you see the pace car. Once again, hard left turn off the pit road, and it's going to be that 68 once again. Back to the stripe. To the 68. Good jump out to the lead. Once again, that top side really working really well for Shuey. Up to the gears here, up as the speeds continue to rise here to the back straightaway. Here comes the 25, Ashaki. He's going to jump down to the bottom. Going to need some help from the 28. He's got a huge run on the bottom. Going to try to clear for the race lead. At the 3 wide. You start to see the 3 wide already happening. James Thurston's in the middle. The middle starting to get swallowed up a little bit there. And you see Downey, he's going to drop down to the bottom side. So Downey help from the 21. So Bascom trying to push that top side back out in front. Jockey up to the top. I'll leave the 28 down to the Swesky. So Brad will jump to the bottom side. They'll be side by side for the race lead. And Chris doing a good job because that 21 isn't really tucked up behind him like he needs to get that line going as they will both get clear. So now it'll be, once again, it'll once again be Tarpley and Downey up to the front there. Now it'll be 21 Tabasco trying to spearhead that top side. Dive to the top there for the 28. He's going to jump up to Brad. Now 3 wide here. 25 is going to get put in the sucker hole. The Tarpley. Wrong place, wrong time there. He's going to get a little bit of help from the 52 of Doran. He's going to get that push to generate that run back in the middle. This is the danger zone right here. Right around here where this 52 is running. Doing the Hornet's Nest back here. And there's nowhere for you to go. On board with Frigatsbuyer back here. Back here with Justin Rott. Gabe Cazzola, middle 3. And this is where you start to pucker up there when you're back there, middle 3, back there outside the top 15. Because there's not, in my opinion, there's really not a need. They want to go out there and race like that. Not racing for the win, you're not racing for anything. But right now you see Steven Maggio jumping up to the top side. He's going to try to make this third line up top work. Trying to build some momentum. Help from Cazzola. Help from the 20. I believe that's the 20. That's the 20 of Bomar, yeah. Two very talented, 3 really talented race car drivers up there trying to spearhead that top side. They're making some headway there. Oh, a little bit sideways for the 55 Fidel Fabian as he is taking the race lead away there as we're looking further back. Now that momentum's there. The 51 is back to P3. Maggio up 25 spots from where he started. Stats for Maggio there. Started back there at P28. And up to 4th. And up to trying to battle for the lead here with that top side. The 28, this is Wesky. He gets put in the sucker hole. He's going to need some help from Michael Walls, help from James Thurston. Even Maggio across the stripe, he'll lead his first lap here from the 250. Look at that, Bergensmeyer up 20 spots. He's been caught up in a couple of wrecks here through the duels and through the race. Combined, he's up here in second, pushing that 51 out. Gonna get some help from Cazzola as that top side. Once again, starting to find some momentum, but here comes James Bomar. Definitely gonna break that momentum as he's gonna try to look for the race lead here. Help from the 20, this is Wesky. So Bomar, you know, he's a good super speedway racer. He's going to lead his first laps here in the 250 as well. Here comes James Thurston in the top side. Huge bump by the 51 of Maggio. Trying to get this top side up and going once again. And I think right now, like, the top side can work, but as soon as someone pulls out a line there to help that run form, it just completely kills it. Oh, I think someone blew up right there. I think that was the 18 of Cazzola. Caution will wave. I think Gabe Cazzola just blew up. We should be back here live. We apologize about the microphone issue here. We've been here live the whole time. I just did not realize we lost the mic here. Still trying to work out the quirks here in the background, but we appreciate everybody for coming out and watching tonight's broadcast. We just saw James Thurston around here. Got hooked by the 27 of Chris Downey off the bumper of the 52 of Doran. Do apologize for the technical difficulty. Try to be monitoring that throughout the rest of the broadcast. Light should go off on the pace car this time by Andretti Robinson stays out here. Well as Declan George, Ollie Reed, Donovan David, 15 laps on since they've last come down pit road. Will be the front four. 16 laps now on since their last pit stop. AJ Hyder, the first of the guys to come down pit side. Will be 2x2. Here we go. Lights are off on the pace car. Be once again the 45 and the 17. Seen this story happen before. You're ready to go green here on that. The start lap 55, 46 laps to go here in tonight's race. Here you set the see the green flag here. Gonna be the 45 to 17. Back into United Reynolds restart zone. Back green. .45 with a good jump on off the bottom side there. To get help from Ollie Reeves. Ollie Reeves has been caught up in a couple incidents tonight as well. And a good rebound for him up to P2. See the battle side by side. Ollie Reeves jumps to the bottom side. Got to take the race lead away from the 45. Looks like he will. Ollie Reeves, first laps led tonight in tonight's race. Oh, a little bit of a blink out from the 17 machine. That's going to not help that bottom start to form any momentum. Here comes Andretti Robinson with the top side. Help from AJ Hyder in the 44. So AJ will push his top side out, and that bottom side is completely died. The 25 of Tarpley trying to make something happen out of there. But now here comes the middle three move there. Here comes the 43, the 51, the 76, and the 61. Middle three there, trying to take on that top side. "45. Andretti jumped down in front of that line there, so it's going to be AJ versus the 45 of Robinson. Down into 1 and 2. To the bottom side, trying to make some headway. Andretti's going to get clear as well as the 43 if he wants it. No. And now the 45 going to have to jump up. He wants to keep any kind of track position as he will. Matthew tried to get clear with the 45. Was not clear. Had to leave him out. And now he takes the race lead here. Going into lap 58. Everybody moving around there. You see Rod up to the top. Now you'll see the 43 up the top with Steven Maggio. Steven, we haven't seen him at all this race here for the most part. Off the front bumper of the 51. Off the deck lid of the 51. See the bottom starting to form some momentum. The 45 side by side with this 51 machine we're on board with. Trying to get this bottom side to work. Side by side for the race leader comes the 45 of Andretti Robinson once again. I've said it once, I've said it again. I just have not been able to see either line able to, you know, dictate this race. I haven't seen anybody been able to jump up to the top and just start to pull away. I haven't seen anybody get over to the bottom side and just be able to get away. Here comes Michael Walls to the top side. Where did he come from? He jumps in front of the 43 of O'Brien here. Going into 3 and 4. Gonna have the help from the 43. The 45 help from Donovan David in this 94 machine. I mean, we talk about someone who hasn't been up front at all. It's been this 94, but here with 41 to go, 94 is in a prime spot to get a good finish. We're going to see middle 3 here. They're going to leave the 24 of Walls out to dry. I think Donovan wants to lead a line here. Fortunately, no one wants to go with them. He's going to fall to the back potentially as well. Back up front, though, it's the 43. For now, here comes Maggio to the bottom. Maggio help from the 45. Oh, not clear. Maggio around. Will he save it? He will not. Off the bumper of the 94. He would have had it saved, I feel like, if he wouldn't have got additional contact. Caution will leave here with 40 to go. Very awkward wreck here. If we can take a look at it. So Maggio. A bump in the 1 and 2 here. That's super, super weird. Because usually you see these kind of like snap wrecks when the car's on the when the following car is kind of on this left rear. But you saw like maybe a little bit of contact with the right rear, and the car just snapped around out of Maggio's hands. And you know, he's one of the better drivers when it comes to car management. We can ride on board here. Yeah. I don't think he had any idea. Then Donovan David gets to the back of him. He grabs the 55 of Fidel Fabian. Just chaos ensues after that. So this was a 10-lap run here. So I imagine that Andretti will come down pit side here. He's gone for 25 laps here on fuel. And we're in that fuel window now that we can almost make it here on one tank, I believe, if they do use 100% fuel. So I'm interested to see who comes down, who doesn't. Got a couple people are staying out. You see the 25 who stays out. Looks like everybody else. Has to come in and top off. See the 45 also take a tire, so I imagine that he's not going to be someone to be a contender for the race off pit road. See the 43. Matthew O'Brien actually wins the race off. Justin Rott, you see AJ Hyder. There's the 45 Andretti. Ghaffari, Walls. Ollie. Malachi Drake. 36, I believe. Ramirez. So back up front here, Shockey decides to stay out here in this 25 car. Everybody else decided to come down, top off on some Sunoco race fuel. But Bryant, so Matthew will be the first driver here. With fresh everything for the most part. Look at the info for tonight. Puts him currently in first. I don't think that's correct. See back there starting 14th will be up 12 spots where he started. The low of 26. Obviously, I feel like the lows and the highs and stuff don't really mean a lot here at these super speedways, but nonetheless, still a good recovery for this 43. You see him down on the apron. Maybe trying to save some fuel. We should get the one to go this time by. Big Shockey's going to pick the bottom side here on this restart. It'll be Tarpley, O'Brien, Gabriel Dahari, and Duncan Fayu fast forward. I think this is the first time we've seen this combination of drivers up towards the front together. This last caution kind of jumbled up a lot of these guys. 27 cars still on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap, Steven Mazur, who just got caught up in that last caution. Will be a Chevy Toyota front row. The 43 machine. First car down pit side here. Tarpley. Once we mentioned again, decided to stay out here. He's going to have, looks like a 10 lap less fuel in the tank than the rest of these drivers. So if it goes green for the rest of the way, it's going to be interesting to see if this 25 can even make it on fuel. It's going to be interested to see if anybody can make it on fuel, because it's going to be a stretch here with 36 laps to go here. Big idea to cross the stripe here. So back in the United Reynolds restart zone, Tarpley back to the stripe, back to green here from Daytona. side by side as they climb the banks here up through the gears in the 1 and 2. Dead even here in the 1 and 2. Harpley help from the 36. You see Duncan Fa pushing out that top side. Now he'll get that 43 clear if he wants it. Will he stick up top or will he jump to the bottom? Up top he stays. Allow the 25 to get a little bit of help. Here's, oh, almost contact. That was almost bad there. 43 jumps out of line there. Very smart move. Harpley holds on for 1 lap. He'll lead his first lap here under green, I believe. We get 35 to go here from Daytona. .36 at Dahari out front. Get a 36 on the car, but it's the 72 in the session. Very interesting to see that. Get this 36. Here comes the 45 underneath. A little bit of a side drop from the Robinson machine. Gonna have help from Duncan Fa. Andretti gonna try to get clear. He does. Up to the top side he goes once again. We're getting to that point where you're gonna have to start to block the runs if you want to try to win this race. 45 up to the top one more time. He leads another lap here from Daytona. .36 though, jumps back outside. Got a huge run, help from the Zorek in the back. That's a 71. Rajcock around through the middle of the field here. Caution will wave. I think he's able to keep that thing going forward. Take a look here on the HVTV replay to see what happened here to the 71 machine. See right in front of him, Brad Zizweski. You see Jurgensmeyer right behind him. 43 of O'Brien, caddy corner. And just a bad push from the 43, gets that 71 around. Omar, some little incidental contact. I think the 43 made some potential contact with the 11 here. Oh yeah, big contact with the 11 of Kennedy there. And now how bad is the damage for this 43 machine? Go back to O'Brien. Trying to catch back up. Got lots of front end damage. And maybe he's trying to file in place here. Maybe he's going to go try to find someone. Like, no, he's where he's supposed to be back here in P15. Rajcock back here in the back. Looking at his damage. Not a whole lot, surprisingly. You'll see everybody come down pit road one more time. Well, actually not. It'll actually be kind of a split field here. The 25. Harpley, the first driver down pit side. He'll bring like kind of the back half of the field down pit side here. That's the caution the 25 needed. Kind of put him back in the game. When it comes to fuel, at least. Honor Trafari gonna win the race off pit road. The other cars down pit side there trying to get some damage. We should look at James Bomar. 20. Quite a bit of damage to his car. Get a different angle on this scene. Like the pit road cam is gonna be the closest one we get. Zoomed in camera there. Yeah, you see a lot of right front damage to Bomar's car. Zoom this thing back out here. See the battles off the race for pit road. Back up front. Quite a few drivers decided to stay out this time. Took the gamble on fuel. Or at least think that they can make it on fuel without having to come down pit road one more time. So the hurry continues to come out here and lead some laps. Start to see the sun starting to set here. Golden hour approaching here from the Daytona 250. Saw this at the start of the race in the daylight. Now with 32 to go, the sun's starting to set. Track might start to change here. Obviously, I don't think that's going to mean a whole lot here for these super speedway style races, but nonetheless, you think about the sun starting to be in the eyes of the drivers. That's just another thing that they have to think about going into the corners. Back 2x2 one more time. Will be a Chevy front row as Dahari Lorenzo. That purple and white machine will lead the inside line. By two, we see a little bit of a confusion maybe for spots here. The 52 are in, and maybe he's trying to save fuel. Maybe I'm not sure. Like he was gonna go 3 wide there with the 42 of Roberts, and Roberts, something I want to bring up inside the top 5. I believe I wouldn't say for the first time, but we haven't really seen him up front that much here. Yeah, the highest he's been up front here. 30 to go. I guess not a bad. Probably the best way to keep this car clean is to stay out of the way. Not be in the rubble at the start either at the end. To the 36 of Dahari. Back to the stripe there. He's on the top side. He'll lead us to green here with 30 to go. A good jump by the top side there. It's going to be Dahari, the 45 of Robinson, and Duncan Faw. We'll even see the 44 of AJ Hyder. He'll get clear of that whole bottom lane. Comes to 28. This is Wesky as well. He's going to try to get clear. Bottom side starting to get that momentum back here. You'll see Lorenzo trying to get some help. Got to see some 3 wide action there. That's a 00 of Jurgensmeyer. Here's a 76 of Rott. Barely fit that car in the hole there. As you see Andretti Robinson now middle 3. He's going to get a huge shot from the 76 of Rott. Now Justin Rott and Andretti Robinson clear all around. They can pick whatever lane they want as they're 3 wide further back. Bottom lane starting to fade there. Duncan Faw trying to make it everything he's got. Big huge run from the bottom side. All those guys from the top jump down. Allowed Duncan to get a pretty big run here, and he's going to look to the top side. Michael Walls blocks. Jurgensmeyer blocks. Now Faw will go to the bottom. Jurgensmeyer top side, looking side by side for the race lead. Not going to get it though. Raw will get it here with 28 to go. Two by two. 6, 7, 8 rows deep. Jafari in the back. Here comes this 51 DiMaggio. They're going to start to form this third lane up top. Maggio. Get some help from the one. The one's going to jump up in front of these guys. So Lorenzo will lead the top side here. See now, Michael Waltz. He's going to jump up top. Going to bring AJ Hyder with him. You're starting to see the guys who want to get together. Starting to get together as you're looking almost 4 wide to the travel there. Back to 3. Maggio, close call there. He's up inside the top 3. Maggio going to get clear of the top side. He's going to make it top of 3. Walls in the sucker hole. Man, the racing, the aggressiveness has started to pick up here. Oh, the 76 are rot. Really upset there. Have to jump back in line. I'm gonna lose all that momentum. Gonna need some help from the 61. Duncan Faw to get him back going. You see someone up in the outside wall. I believe that was Doran. You see some really big pushes up front there. Jurgensmeyer trying to get that 44 out in front. Trying to take advantage of the track position he has. Here comes Jurgensmeyer, blocked at the top. Blocking at 28, it's Zweski. Brad doing a great job keeping the track position throughout the whole race. Not just for this little spurt. He's been up here throughout the whole race, give or take. He's going to make these top 4 on the top clear once again. Here comes the 9 of Chafari. We haven't talked about Connor at all today. But here with 25 to go, coming to 25 to go, he's here when it counts. Here comes Schumacher. He's up inside the top 10 once again. Talked about it. If you lose the track position, you're just going to have to go up there and hit it the hard way. Once again is, almost not clear on the 36 of the Harley there. Gabe cuts up a break there. Back up front, it's still Maggio. Help from the 44 of AJ Hyder. As we see it, now the 51 of Maggio jumps up middle side there. Now we're gonna jump up to the top. It's Zweski. Preston pushes to him now. Almost not clear for Jurgensmeyer there. He's gonna have to hold on to the bottom side. At 24 to go, the aggressiveness has started to build and build and build. The top side. Speaking of building that momentum. Here comes Jafari to the bottom. The guys you expect up front here with 24 to go, we're all here and ready to go. Jafari gonna lead probably his first lap suit tonight. Here into 250 with 23 laps to go here from the World Center of Racing. Jafari, it's hard to lead Jurgensmeyer. Your top 3. Excuse me. With AJ Hyder. Justin Ra, here comes Ra, look to the outside. Here comes Jurgensmeyer, look to the top. Jafari will block that lane. The runs are just continue to build and build, and they're getting bigger and bigger the later we go in this race. Jafari, look underneath him from the 00 Jurgensmeyer. He's going to have to fall back to the top side. Help from Maggio, help from Schumacher. Some lap traffic up ahead there. And be a key factor here. If they're 3x3, not really a good place to pass those guys. See Jurgensmeyer clear. Leading the race here. Help from Duncan Fall on the bottom side. It is ushering the lap cars to the bottom. We'll get away with them scot-free, but Justin Rott on that top side. in that momentum. Retaking the race lead here. They're 3 and 4. Justin now, it's going to be Jurgensmeyer across the stripe here. Rot, another lap led there. Rot, Trafari, Jurgensmeyer, Maggio, your top 4. I really can't tell you who's a favorite to win tonight, which is how even these lanes are. You haven't been able to see either lane get formed up and get away. They've just been so even the whole race. I think it's been easier than ever to see drivers just drive their way up through the field, even after being outside the top 10. Look at Maggio. You look at Shui. He's up inside the top 5, top 6 here. He was nowhere to be found. Across the stripe there. Give it to Rot, I believe. You see the lights on the track finally turn on for tonight's race with 20 to go. And oh, almost wrecking at the back, James Bomar. I'll have to bumper a door in there. I'll have to take a look and see what happened. I don't know. I mean, it just looked like he got loose and kind of just Doran was there. I'm not sure what happened there. Regardless, back to the front. Maggio to the bottom. Help from Jurgensmeyer. Oh, Shui really upset there. They're going to be 4 wide for the back here. They're going to swing it back out, back to 3. Now Jurgensmeyer up to the lead. Jurgensmeyer, Micah, Walls, Duncan, Fa, Justin Rott, your top 4. The aggressiveness has continued to build and build and build here with under 20 to go. They cross the stripe, 18 laps to go here for week 1 from the World Center of Racing. We'll catch another lap car. That's the 17. The Clan George. We're going to catch him in the 1 and 2 though. There, he's not going to be able to get off the track for these guys. Maybe he will. It's going to be tight. He's getting off the track there. Really awkward spot to catch a lap car there. Kind of held up the bottom just a little bit there. That's going to allow Jurgensmeyer to continue to pull away there. Comes to 61 of Fa. Jurgensmeyer jumps down to the bottom as well to block that potential run that Fa has here. You saw that. I'm just so surprised that you could do that. Fa jumped down by himself. Just kind of made a run on his own. And he's only going to lose maybe 1 to 2 spots there before he gets picked up by the rest of the bottom pack. The lap car on the top there. That's the 27 of Downey. He'll go 1 lap down. So the battle for the lucky dog will be between Clan George and Chris Downey here. Chris can stay on the lead draft there. That's the battle here for the lucky dog position back here. 2 cars side by side here, further in the back. Someone get up an outside wall. I believe that was the 45. Andretti back up to the lead. Continued to be Jurgensmeyer. Doing a good job blocking the lanes that have the bow. Keeping this 0-0 out front. Anytime we've seen anybody pull out a line, he's been able to dictate which line stays and which line goes. See him go to the bottom, and now the top side starting to fall away here. It's 16 going to 15 to go. Everybody's starting to get a little bit of single fouled here with 15 to go. You think maybe this is when you start to you know, this is when the mind games might have to start here for the race leader, for everybody behind here. We see what, 5, 6 cars on the top side there. You see Malachi Drake, he's gonna start the top side. No contact with him and Tarpley in the 25. Gonna slow down that top side just a little bit there with that little bit of contact. Now here comes the actual top side, starting to build some momentum. Michael Walls up to the top side, 3 wide. Help from AJ Hyder. Connor Shafari, and I think that's Shrui in the back there in that 68 machine. Fortunately, them staying 3 wide is not going to help that top side build any momentum with that, how the side draft works and with how much drag is in these cars. I think they got that sorted out. Michael Walls, AJ Hyder, Connor Trafari, the top 3 on this top side. Here comes Maggio to the top. Comes the whole bottom to the top. You saw the momentum from the top side. They all jumped up to block it. I think Micah wants to make some moves here. Start the impatience. Start to build here in some of these drivers here that are further outside the top 5, outside the top 3, really. Wanting to get up toward the front. Jurgensmeyer continues to lead the way. Here with 13 to go. I'll say the Jurgensmeyer's done a good job keeping both lanes have some momentum, right? To where if the bottom gets enough of a run, you can go down there, give them the air, give them the run to keep them side by side further back. But here comes a huge run from the bottom there. They're going to be side by side with the 00 here down the backstretch. Maggio with the nose out in front here in the 3 and 4. Help from the 20 of Sisweski. He's going to jump in front of the 00 here to the top side with 11 to go here from Daytona. Help with the 00 there. And try to break away a little bit there. Now they get to pick. Do they pick the middle line? Do they pick the top line? Now the 25 leaving the 28 there. He's going to jump in the middle. Get a lap car. Really getting out of the way there on the apron. That was really good for him. There's really nowhere for him to go. They're going to catch him in the corner. Look at that. Maggio back up towards the front. Maggio, Jurgensmeyer, Wesky across the stripe there. Top 3. Maggio up front. I don't know if you want anybody else better to lead this back here. Knows how to manage these runs. Him and Jurgensmeyer have been flawless of getting themselves back up to the front when it counts here with 10 to go. And now here comes the 61. Maggio's going to block that run. Duncan Fa going to push out that 51 out. Now it's going to be the 00 leading the middle lane. 51 on the bottom, and it looks like out there on that outside line, the 45 of Robinson. They're trying to make something happen in that third lane. I just don't know if it's enough. Lane's starting to prevail here. The 00 underneath the 51 now. Now he's going to get help from Maggio. These two have worked really well together throughout the whole race here. That 51 on that 00. I'm not sure if they're teammates or not. Obviously, two different manufacturers, but that doesn't really mean a whole lot, right? Maggio pushing his double zero out to the stripe here as we get the 8 lap to go mark here tonight's race. Continues to be the Maggio and Jurgensmeyer show. Here comes Duncan Faw, help from Dahari on that top side. He's going to be side by side for P3 with the 25 machine of Tarpley. See that bright white and orange machine on the top side. Now here comes Maggio and the 51 to the top side here. Trying to take the race lead away here to the backstretch. Still side by side for your race lead across the stripe. Give it to Maggio. Maggio will clear both lanes there. Now it's up to him. What lane does he block here? Down the backstretch. Does he jump up to the top? Does he keep his drafting buddy right behind him? I think that's what he's going to do. Even though here comes Duncan Faw with the run here through 3 and 4. I'm starting to form up here. Help from the 25 of Tarpley. Help from the 28 of Sisweski. Is Wyatt Roberts up there in the top 5 now? It's 42. In a good spot here. He can get clear of that top side. Probably want to be those. He'd probably be one of my first candidates to go jump up there and trying to make something happen. Nice side to see 3 wide. 36 to Dahari, top of 3 there on that top side, trying to make something happen. You see Duncan Faw, you see Jurgensmeyer up to the middle line there. Everybody pulling out all the stops here, trying to keep themselves up here in the battle here. You see 3 wide, 3 by 3 by 3, 4, 5 Carling Steep. Jurgensmeyer holding on for dear life here with 5 to go here in the first race of the season. See him drop down on the bottom with Duncan Faw. Duncan up to the middle line now. He's going to need help. Now he's going to jump up to the top side. Bottom to top. Move for the 61 is Duncan Faw. Really sideways. What a save by the 61. That's going to lose him a lot of track position, though. He's going to have to work really hard to get back up there with 4 laps to go here in tonight's race. Jurgensmeyer. Been very technical, very precise with his blocks, where he wants to put this car. And he is not really giving up the race lead since he's gotten it. It's been him or Maggio. Speaking of Maggio, here he comes to the top side. Gonna get help from the 28, that Rally House Ford Dark Horse Mustang. Gonna push out that 51. He'll get clear here for the lead here with 3 to go. Here comes the 28 of Sisweski. He's going to look to the bottom side here. Coming to 3 to go here in the Daytona 250. Anybody, I would say 10th on up, has a shot at here with 3 to go here. If they can make the moves happen, if they can get someone to work with them, there is still an opportunity. You see the top work in there. I believe that's Connor Zola in the 13. We haven't heard from him a whole lot this whole race here. But he's trying to make that top side work, but it's still that middle lane, dominated by the 51 to Maggio. See the 36 to Dahari trying to make a move. Here comes Michael Walls there, trying to push out that middle line. But here comes the 28 of Sisweski. Help from the bottom side. Maggio, a good block to the bottom. Now 3 by 3 for P2. Maggio trying to hold on here with 2 laps to go here in the Daytona 250. Dahari, a good jump up the top. Help from Connor Zola. He takes the race lead on the penultimate lap. Zola doing everything he can to get that 36 out. He's going to jump to the bottom side. Going to get help from Maggio. Does Maggio help this 13 or does he jump out of line? He's going to push the 13 out here down the back straight. Now look at that. Who's up at P2? That's the 9 of Connor Jafari. We talked about timing up these runs when you need them the most. Connor Jafari going to get to the bottom side, and he's going to lead here as we take the white flag. White flag in the air here in the Daytona 250. Connor Jafari leads us to the white flag. Jafari, Zula, Maggio. You see Dahari and Walzer, top 5. And you see the top 3 clear of all lanes. Now the issue is, does Zula pull out of line? And when he does he's going to turn the 9 on the white flag lap. Everybody's going to wreck here. Everybody around and out across the field is going to be Duncan Fa, Dahari, and Roberts. The only 3 who make it out of the wreck. Now can Dahari build a run? Can he do anything with this 61 machine? Whereas Duncan Fa found the pot at the end of the rainbow as he does. Duncan Fa wins the Daytona 250. And what a way to do it. Gabriel Dahari, P2. Wyatt Roberts comes home P3. His first podium here in SAAC since we've started broadcasting this Cup Series. What a finish. We're going to have to go back. Take a look at that wreck here. But first, we'll let this 61 burn it down here for you fans at home. What a finish. And what a way. I mean, I wish I could say I was surprised, but these guys were racing so hard. And I'm not surprised that that the big one happened here on the last lap. That's really the only time we had the big one tonight. And Duncan Fa emerges out of the fog, out of the smoke, and he's going to get it done here from the World Center of Racing. He's going to burn it down for you fans at home. Here, rev up by the 17. Congratulating the 61. Duncan Fa gets it done here. Race 1 in Season 6. Jafari, congratulatory bump. Take a look at the lap sled tonight. 2 lap sled for this 61 machine, but it doesn't matter. You only needed to lead 1, and he did. It was a final lap here. Team continue to burn it down here. Continue to celebrate. I mean, he earned it, man. Put himself in the spot there. Got through the wreck. Got it done here. Win the first race of the season here from the high banks of Daytona. Congratulations to Duncan Fa. And on Duncan to see if we can pull him up in an interview waiting room. See if we can talk to our race winner tonight. Zoom in this camera for him so we can show off his beautiful Fa creative livery here. So we'll go ahead and talk to the driver who just got it done here from Daytona. We'll go ahead and talk to Duncan Fa up here in the HVTV booth. Hey, Duncan, Christian up here in the HPTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, first of all, congratulations. What a way to win that thing, right? Well, you were up front, putting yourself in the spot there. Obviously, got mired back into traffic there, and then we haven't gotten it back. We haven't gotten an opportunity here in on the broadcast to go back and see what happened there on that last lap. But we saw you there, top of three there, and just kind of the cards aligned there, and you were able to get out of that wreck in a timely fashion. And it was going to be a battle between you and Dahari. You were able to fend off there for the win tonight. Walk us through tonight, and walk us just through the emotions of winning here from Daytona.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I don't know if you know, but last season I had quite a heartbreaker at Bristol, losing it with just 1 lap to go. But starting the next season off with the Daytona 500 win is crazy. Last lap or the last few laps, I got a bad push from Dahari. I believe it's my fault. Just couldn't get in front of him in time, and thought I was wrecking, but I was able to get back in line, get with my friends, and coming down to the end, I was able to luckily stay with them. I thought we were going to be able to make a good run. All of our attempts were looking good, but then just the big wreck. I don't know how I avoided that. Obviously, so glad I did, but that's pretty crazy. I thought Dahari would have a run. He's backing up to try to get a push. Thought he'd have a run, but wasn't able to get to me in time.
Obviously, you talk about it, right? Just put yourself in the right spot there to try to get it done there. And obviously, you leading only 2 laps, but you're up there towards the front. Walk us through just the chaos of really, I felt like that with around that 15 to go mark, the intensity definitely picked up, at least from my opinion up here in the booth. Walk us through just what it took to try to get it done here and try to make everything you could out of those last couple laps.
Yeah, it was very nerve-wracking. The last half of the race, that was very intense, crazy racing. Probably one of the best races I've been a part of. But shout out everybody in the field for keeping it straight. That was such a fun race, very crazy. I don't know how they able to get up there at the front. It was, I don't know. It's like just a whiplash. I can't even process it.
No, I don't blame you. I mean, when you win those in the blink of an eye there, where you're trying to just battle for a top 5 or a top 10 to you come out there, you think about, the William Byron finish. So this is exactly kind of how it went. You were just, on the top there trying to hold on for dear life and came out of the smoke first and were able to hold off to Hari there to get, the win here from Daytona. So what a way to do it here. Obviously, you talk about the heartbreak from Bristol. Good redemption after, barely losing it out there on the last lap. You get the win here on the last lap. So congratulations, Duncan here on your first win here in Season 6. But before we let you go, anybody you want to thank, appreciate, shout out for tonight's win here from the high banks of Daytona.
Yeah, shout out my teammates, Fidel, Jamie. Unfortunately, he wasn't here, and Matthew. Shout out my team owner Jerg. Shout out everybody in the call: Fidel, Jake, Justin, Jerg, as I mentioned, Micah, Andrew, Robbie, and Gabe. It was fun working with them all night. Shout out my other friends over at Moo Moo Motorsports. Once again, another shout out to Justin. His birthday tomorrow. So I'm unfortunately not on his team, but that's a pretty cool birthday present of him for him. I mean. Thank you for broadcasting. Pretty cool to have new partners come here and show off our racing. So that's about all.
Well, we definitely appreciate the kind words up here in the booth. And once again, another big congratulations on what a way to win it. But another win here from Daytona. We'll drag you back down to celebrate with your teammates, friends, family, whoever. We look forward to seeing what we can do next week.
Thank you.
Duncan Fa gets it done here from Daytona. I'm trying to see if we can find Gabe up here in the booth or anything else. I don't really see Gabe at all. So I think it's time to talk to your driver, Wyatt Roberts. Very quiet day, but sneaks his way through. He gets a podium finish here in the Daytona 250. Hey, Wyatt, it's Christian up here in the HPTV booth. You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Well, obviously, what a finish for you in this 42 team. I felt like it was a very, very quiet night for you, keeping your nose clean. I don't think I saw you in really any of the wrecks, which is really good for you in this whole 42 team. But obviously, that big wreck on the last lap for you, Wyatt, able to sneak your way through. Unfortunately, just not enough time to get back to the 61 and that 72. But P3 finish for you in this 42 team. Walk us through tonight's race. Walk us through, the emotions of that last lap.
Yeah, it started back in P21 after had an unfortunate end to my dual race, but I knew it was a long race, and really on a super speedway, it's only those final closing laps that count. So just trying to stay out of trouble, rode that yellow line all the way, and stayed loyal to it. So all the lanes they would come and go, but I just stayed on that yellow line. Figured it was the safest thing to do, and was really just trying to stay out of trouble. But coming to the final lap there, so I was losing spots, so I was getting a little worried, and thought, man, I should have went high or something. Should have tried the middle. But coming out of turn two, the disaster struck for everybody else in the whole field, and I happened to pick the right groove to get through it, basically unscathed, and be finishing top three.
You talked about, being, weary of, where you were going to the white there, losing spots, losing everything else. Do you think maybe that was, kind of the blessing in disguise, having to lose the spots to try to put yourself in a spot there? Because you think about it, you put yourself on the top, you put yourself in the middle there, you probably get caught up in that incident. You don't even have a shot to get out of the wreck there. Do you think it's kind of a blessing in disguise that, you know, you kind of unironically just kind of put yourself in the back there to try to get through the wreck?
Yeah, it worked out really good. I mean, uh, like this race went green to the end. I was expecting the big wreck to happen earlier, but yeah, it happened there on the back stretch, and just happy to be on the inside line there. And I mean, I had cars on my outside, so assuming I was in the middle, I would not have made it through. I mean, track was basically blocked, and there were basically 10, 15 cars spinning all across the backstretch. So, yeah, having the freedom to choose is where I wanted to position myself by having the inside open, being on the inside line. It definitely worked out, and I'm happy I decided to do that in hindsight and stay on the bottom.
It definitely worked out for you and this whole 42 team. But looking forward into next week, we still stay here, in the state of Florida. Here, we go to Homestead Miami Speedway next week. The high banks at Homestead, one of the more dynamic tracks that we'll come to here, in the Cup Series. What's the mindset going into Homestead after a great run here from the high banks of Daytona?
Yeah, hopefully can get another strong run. I'm hoping with some of the changes in this league, we can get some more green flag running, and it'll be a bit more of a tire saving and consistency race. That's what I'm best at, is some long runs. So last season, I really never went for it at Homestead because I was eliminated from the chase, and I was just trying to get through the race and not cause any issues. But now that we're up here in the points and it's the beginning of the season, I'm hoping I can maybe get another top 5 or top 10. I mean, SAAC is a very strong, difficult league, but if I can get another good run, that would absolutely be awesome.
I couldn't have said it better myself. And I definitely think you have the ability to do it here in this 42 team. I've seen you do it before in other leagues, and can't wait to see what you can do next week going into Homestead. But Wyatt, once again, another good run from you. Obviously, not the first time you've been up here in the booth, but before we let you go, anybody you want to thank, appreciate, shout out for tonight's good run here from the World Center of Racing?
Yeah, as always, thanks to my dad for watching all the races. He just came in and said congratulations, and thanks to all my new Ager teammates. Just signed on to them for this year. Got Malachi Drake, Ollie Reeves, Amir Bascombe, Brian Lorenzo, and then our team owner Brady Floyd and Jason Rizak. So thanks to all of them for getting me a fast race car today.
We definitely give you a good hot rod tonight here as you come home P3, but we congratulate you on another good run here from Daytona, and we thank you for your time up in the booth, and we wish you good luck here as we go to Homestead next week. Hopefully we can talk to you some more up here in the podium spot, maybe a couple spots even better.
Yeah, thank you.
Wyatt Roberts comes home P3. We still have not been able to track down Gabriel Dahari, so we'll go ahead and take a look at our unofficial race results coming out of Daytona tonight. Take away Wyatt's thing here. But you look at the unofficial race results here for the Daytona 250. Duncan Fa gets it done here on the last lap here. Looking at the results here. We're trying to get a hold of Gabriel here, your top 3, but cannot get a hold of him here. And we just talked to Wyatt here just a few seconds ago. Look back to Malachi Drake. He gets through the wreck here and also gets a good finish. Back there in P4, Justin Rott, P5. Look at Alexander Schumacher. Really, really good finish for him. I'm getting through the wrecks, I presume. Michael Wall, 7th. Connor Zola, 8th. Andretti Robinson, 9. And Maggio rounds out the top 10. Take a look further back here outside the top 10. Christopher Robinson, Ollie Reeves, Donovan David, Jonathan Jurgensmeyer, and Brian Lorenzo rounds out the top 15. Further back here, Jason Rajcock, AJ Hyder, Cody Ramirez, James Beaumont, Shockey Tarpley round out the top 20. Further outside the top 20, Austin Doran, Connor Shafari, Brad Szweski, the Clan George, Chris Downey, Nicholas Bloodlimick, Matthew O'Brien, Wayne Kennedy, Fidel Fabian, James Thurston, your top 30. Looking further back outside the top 30. We will take a look here. Amir Bascom, Chris Lowley, Gabe Cazola, and Keelan Belsha out early tonight. Obviously, we saw them get caught up in some. One last shout out here. We appreciate the Prime subscription up here, Marked Microbe. We appreciate it, and we appreciate all the love in the chat here. Appreciate all that. 21 viewers. Did we get rated? We must have. Raja Karuth, thank you so much for the raid. Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Raja. I appreciate that. But I think it's time to call the night here from the virtual high banks of the Daytona International Speedway. Once again, another congratulations to Duncan Fa up here in the HVTV booth. We look forward to seeing what can come on here from SAAC if we come back on here full time in the future, or whether that comes to be. But from everybody here in the booth, we appreciate all the opportunities up here in the booth. We say a huge thank you to Cody Ramirez for reaching out to us and continuing to give us some opportunities to call the SAAC Cup Series. These guys are so talented, and I always look forward to seeing what these guys can do up here. When it comes to these Cup Series drivers, these guys put on a show week in and week out. So we appreciate all the love and support, and we appreciate the opportunities up here in the network. But once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race here from Daytona. Once again, if you're new to the channel, whether you're watching over on twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13, or whether you're watching over on the High Velocity TV YouTube channel, we appreciate your guys' love and support. And if you guys wouldn't mind sharing the broadcast, sharing the channel, doing whatever, we really appreciate it. And hitting the like, subscribing, doing all the fun stuff here, sharing the broadcast as much as we can, because we want to grow this as big as we can. But once again, we appreciate everybody for coming out and watching tonight's broadcast here. Week 1 for Season 6 here for the Daytona 250, plus the duels here earlier tonight. I think it's time to call the night here from the high banks of Daytona. We appreciate everybody for coming out and supporting the broadcast, supporting the show, as we look forward into tomorrow for the ARC Pro Series, as we go to the high banks of Homestead Miami Speedway for their second pit stop there in the ARC schedule. And then on Saturday, we'll be back for the ISNF Cup Series as they go to the Midwest there to Iowa Speedway, the really good short track that they have down there and just south of Des Moines. But once again, we hope everybody has a good rest of the night. Once again, my name is Christian Delgado, your lead producer and commentator for tonight's race here for the SAAC Season 6, Race 1 here from Daytona. But hope everybody has a good rest of the night, and we look forward to seeing you guys on the flip side. Once again, have a good rest of the night, and we'll see you guys soon.